Middle-class tax hikes could be coming. Ohio Republican Congressman Jim Jordan says, make no mistake, everyone will be paying more and likely a lot more. Sir, make your case.
Well, I mean, Liz, you're exactly right. You guys did call it. I think this whole debt commission has been set up as a way to put forward the idea that they want to raise taxes. It's the wrong thing to do. I mean, these folks just don't get it. I mean, last week, Speaker Pelosi said that unemployment compensation checks actually create jobs. That's what she said, when in fact we know what creates jobs is letting small business owners, entrepreneurs, and families keep more of their money so they can spend it, invest it, and use it in ways, productive ways, in the private sector. So, yeah, we knew this was coming. This is the whole idea. Spend, 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 run up the big numbers, and then say, oh, the only way we can deal with it is to now raise people's taxes and go back on the promise that the president made. So it's exactly the wrong path to head down.
Let's play this out. So the Deficit Commission will be reporting conveniently after the midterm elections. Couldn't they just let the Bush tax cuts expire in 2011 and make no mention of that in their report?
Well, they may, in fact, I assume they're planning on doing that, and that's dangerous enough. Liz, you may have seen this. 4 weeks ago, Art Laffer had a great column in the Wall Street Journal where he talked about the fact that, you know, policy decisions impact people's behavior. And his point was people are taking profits and income this year in anticipation of what's going to happen on January 1st, 2011, when the top marginal rate goes to 39.6, when dividends rate goes up to 39, when capital gains rates go from 15 to 20%. So people are taking profits and income now, knowing that there's tax increases coming. Now, if we have additional taxes on top of that, imagine, Laffer's point was that may cause a double dip in recession. That's going to impact economic growth next year. Now, if we got more tax increases coming on top of that, imagine what that will do to our economy.
Yeah,
so
you know,
this is dangerous, this road that they're taking us down, and it's completely wrong.
You know, the upper brackets could see a 45% effective rate because there's a phase-out of itemized deductions, and also healthcare reform puts a new investment income tax onto the upper brackets, which honestly have a lot of small businesses in there. But this deficit commission, you know, they're talking about now about basically cutting the debt load as versus GDP to 21%. We saw that last time in 1999. It's now around 24%. And you know what? Do you remember when David Stockman he was Reagan's budget director, got chastised for criticizing publicly Ronald Reagan in 1981, saying, look, our debt load is at 6%. 6%. That's a fraction of what we're seeing now. And you know, the other thing, too, is the OMB director. What's his exit strategy? Peter Orzag, his exit strategy out of the debt picture is just to leave.
To leave. To leave, yeah. Look, we got to do both things. We got to cut spending. I've introduced a balanced budget in Congress. It does the right things. It keeps in place the Bush tax cuts. It protects Social Security and national defense. But I'll let you in on a little secret, Liz. In order to balance a budget, you have to cut spending, and our budget does that. And we put it on the right path. But the second thing you have to do is also not raise taxes, but lower taxes, because long term, to get a handle on our deficit, to get a handle on our $13 trillion national debt, to get a balanced budget, you have to have economic growth. And this is what the liberals miss. They think big government planning is going to solve this mess. Heck, if big government taxes and big government planning were going to solve this mess, we'd have been out of it a long time ago, because that's all they've been doing for 2 years. Tax cuts are going to get the growth we need.
Right, and you make a great point about growth, because we're seeing average GDP growth now. We saw 3% since 1959. The CBO is saying only 2%. What do you make of that?
Yeah. Well, it's Laffer's point. I mean, business people are out there saying, we think they're going to go ahead and raise the taxes, go to the top rate to 39, raise the capital gains rate, and we may have additional tax increases coming. They're not taking the risk. They're not doing the things they would typically do, the things we would typically see as our economy begins to move out of a recession, because they're scared. They don't know what the yahoos in Congress are going to do next. They don't know what's the next. Is it another health care? They're still talking about cap and trade. These things are scaring the business owners out there, the small business owners, and the families who make our economy go. We need to send the right message. Look, we're not going to raise your taxes. We're going to lower your taxes. We're going to get a handle on spending and move us on a direction to get to a balanced budget.
Final question.
If we would do that, you would see economic growth in this country.
Final question. When you see the president say he's going to call everybody's bluff, does that mean he's going to basically cut Social Security entitlement? And is that the way to go?
No.
In other words, Social Security reform is so far on the back burner, you know, it's not even on the stove. Is he going to raise that next year?
No, when he says he's talking about raising taxes. He set this debt commission up, in my judgment, as a guise to promote a tax increase after this election. All the spending he did, okay, guys, now you Republicans, you've been talking about cutting spending and getting our deficits and our national debt under control. Well, now, you know what we have to do? We have to look at the tax. That's his whole plan, and it is wrong, dead wrong.
All right, Congressman Jordan, good to be with you tonight, sir. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.